What do you do when the person you love most looks you in the eye and says, "You're not good enough"? That night broke me. But sometimes, being broken is exactly what it takes to rise stronger than you ever imagined. This is the story of how my ex left me for someone better, and how I became the woman he could never have. I was 24, a young woman full of hope, full of love. My boyfriend Ethan and I had been together for nearly 4 years. We met in college, and back then, it felt like fate. He was charming, confident, and made me laugh when no one else could. I remember the little things, him waiting outside my lectures with coffee, us walking in the rain holding hands, whispering late-night promises about forever. I really believed him when he said, "One day, it'll be you and me against the world." Fast forward a few years, and I thought we were building that life together. I had just started my first real job. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. I dreamed of moving into our own place, saving for the future, maybe even marriage. But the cracks were already forming. Little comments from Ethan that I brushed off at first. "You don't dress up enough when we go out. You should think about doing something more exciting with your career. Why don't you try being more like Sarah? She always looks amazing." Sarah was one of his coworkers. I hated the way he compared me to her, but I told myself, he loves me. He doesn't mean it that way. Until the night it all shattered. We were sitting in his car parked outside my apartment. It was supposed to be a normal evening. Instead, his face was serious, his voice cold. "I can't do this anymore," he said. My chest tightened. "Do what?" "US, you and me." My heart dropped. I begged him to explain. And then came the words that would haunt me. "You're just not the woman I see myself with forever. I think I deserve someone better." Better, that word echoed in my mind, slicing through me like glass. I remember whispering, "Better?" after everything we'd been through. But he didn't flinch. His eyes were steady, his tone almost rehearsed. "You're nice, but you're not ambitious enough, not glamorous enough. You're comfortable staying small. I need someone who inspires me, who pushes me." And then, as if to twist the knife deeper, he added, "You'll find someone who matches you, but it's not me." I cried that night until my pillow was soaked. The next morning, I checked my phone, and there it was, a photo of him on Instagram, smiling with another girl, tall, stunning, model-like. The caption read, "Finally found my better half." My world collapsed. The weeks that followed were hell. I avoided social media, but friends kept telling me about his new girlfriend, how they traveled together, attended fancy parties, looked perfect. I spiraled. I compared myself to her endlessly. I picked apart my flaws in the mirror. I skipped meals. I lost weight. I stopped seeing my friends. My self-worth disappeared. One night, I sat on the bathroom floor, staring at myself. Puffy eyes, messy hair, broken spirit. I whispered, maybe he was right. Maybe I'm not enough. That was my lowest point. But sometimes, rock bottom is the solid ground you need to rebuild. A few days later, I met up with my best friend Mia. She grabbed my hands and said, "Listen to me. You are more than enough. You don't need to change for him. Change for yourself." That stuck with me. That night, I opened a journal and wrote, "This is not the end of my story. This is the beginning." The next morning, I joined a gym. At first, it was just 30 minutes of walking, then running, then lifting weights. Slowly, my body felt alive again. I poured my energy into work. I started volunteering for projects, speaking up in meetings. enrolling in evening courses to learn new skills. People began to notice. My boss praised me. Co-workers started respecting me. Every little victory built me up again. Months turned into a year. I wasn't the same girl Ethan had left behind. 2 years later, I landed a huge promotion. My company sent me overseas to lead a major project. Living alone in a new country was scary at first, but it was also liberating. I traveled, made friends, explored cultures, and most importantly, I found myself. I transformed not just physically, but emotionally. I radiated confidence I never thought I had. And one day, while standing on top of a mountain during a solo hike, looking at the breathtaking view, I whispered to myself, I am enough. I always was. 3 years after Ethan broke me, I returned home for my cousin's wedding. I walked into the banquet hall in a sleek emerald dress. My hair styled perfectly, confidence in every step. Conversations hushed. People stared in a good way. I felt like I belonged in my own skin for the first time. And then I saw him, Ethan. But he wasn't the same either. He looked tired. The charm was gone. He was alone. I later learned his better. Girlfriend had cheated on him with someone wealthier, and they broke up messy. When he saw me, his jaw literally dropped. He walked over, fumbling with his words. Wow, you look incredible. What have you been up to? I smiled, calm and composed. Oh, you know. Just leading international projects, traveling the world, living my best life. His face sank. I didn't realize. I made the biggest mistake of my life letting you go. For a moment, I felt the old wound ache. But then something amazing happened. I didn't want him back. I didn't even want revenge. Because my life itself was the revenge. I simply smiled and said, yes, Ethan, you did. Then I turned and walked away, leaving him standing in silence, looking back. I realized Ethan did me a favor. His rejection lit a fire in me that turned my life around. The truth is, sometimes people will tell you you're not enough. Sometimes they'll leave you for better, but better is subjective. And often, better is just an illusion. The best revenge is not screaming, not begging, not proving them wrong directly. The best revenge is building a life so beautiful, so strong, so powerful, that their opinion no longer matters. So if you've ever been told you're not enough, remember my story. Remember that your worth isn't defined by anyone else. Become the version of yourself that even those who doubted you could never have. Because that is the sweetest revenge.